Hey folks, Roland Martin here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, you know, it's wintertime. The weather's kind of bad right now, so it's just before Christmas, and there's a rainy day. So, hey, what's a better day than a rainy day in the wintertime to work on tackle? Well, you know, there's a couple neat things that have come up. One is that Don Rollins with the Spiker Corporation, he gave me this new little kit, and it's just got all kind of neat little stuff for just kind of reconditioning lures and coloring lures and stuff. And in my crankbait box, I get some really neat stuff. Like look at this, an original Big O. I don't know what the Big O's are worth anymore. Probably a couple $100. I don't know what they are. But I got those, I got these plugs. But I use these E-Step plugs, and that's a Big E, and that's a plug that Mike E-Step out of Knoxville, Tennessee has made. He was a good friend of Fred Young's when he was alive. And he's made a lot of different plugs. And I've actually, on a plug like this one, this is one of the E-Step plugs. This one doesn't have the rattle. The one I had a rattle. It was a chartreuse and black like this one. I won 3 tournaments, 3 B.A.S.S tournaments in the 80s on this one plug. So it's a really a good plug. It was back actually in the late 70s. So these plugs, these square bills are really the deal. So what I do to get them all back into shape again, I got this new hook hone, and this new hook hone is really good. It's got a diamond face on it. And what I do, and I want to just show you real quick on sharpening of hooks. Let's just take this E-Step plug that I really like a whole lot. And it's got a round band treble hook on it. And one of the reasons why it has a round band treble hook, in fishing with fairly heavy line, say 20-pound line, I can use this round band hook and actually get it hung on a bush or a log, tighten the drag up, and pull this plug loose, because this is a valuable plug. So I don't want this real strong hooks. I want to be able to have hooks that'll bend out and straighten out and get my plug back. But I want them sharp. Now, here's the whole deal on sharpening a hook. There's all kind of ways to sharpen it. Here's the way I sharpen it. It's really a critical kind of deal. I take the hook hone, whether it's a flat stone or whether it's a diamond-faced deal like this, and I lay it across the two surfaces right here. See that angle that I have? Okay, now I come right there and I come at that angle. This diamond is really sharp. And now I rotate the hook now. I rotate the hook, just 1/3 of the way. And I'm not flush against it. I got a little bit of an angle, like a 20-degree angle onto the hook point, about 20 degrees. I come in like this. Remember, this is a diamond. That's a diamond surface right there. And I rotate it the 3rd time and get it all straight and get that thing about 20 degrees on the hook point. And I'm telling you what, folks, this is the fastest way to sharpen a hook. Now, I know you might have chemically sharpened Gamakatsu hooks, and I'd have all that. But you can touch them up with this diamond-faced sharpener like I have here, and it'll be just extra sharp. I mean, that thing is so sharp, that hook just holds on to the skin just no matter what. It's just super sharp. Again, on the front hook, I'll take it and lay it against the diamond face, lay it in, put a 20-degree angle on it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's probably enough. Ooh, that's already sharp. Rotate it 1/3 of the way. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 20 times. Ooh, that's so sharp. It's just incredibly sharp. And that's all I have to do. That's all I'm doing to this hook. I'm not doing anything else. It's just a 20-degree deal. Now, there's all kind of, you might think of there's all kind of ways to sharpen a hook. This is the easiest way and the best way to sharpen a hook. A diamond-faced surface like I have right here is really critical. Now that plug, I'm telling you folks, that plug will hang on. I mean, it's so sharp. It just hangs on everything that it touches. It's so sharp. But you know, Gamakatsu hooks are sharp to start with, but everything gets dull, particularly if you run it, cranking it in rocky areas. You know, every time you hit a rock or hit the gravel or hit the sand, you're knocking a little bit of that edge off. And so after a full day's fishing in, say, a rocky area, hey, you're going to need either new hooks or sharpened hooks. Okay, that's one good thing. Now, of course, I don't use, this is kind of my special box, and these are all, all these lures here are worth an immense amount of money. Some of these big O's and big E's that I have are worth hundreds of dollars, but I still use them because I've caught so many fish on them. But now that Spro makes a bunch of lures, Spro makes a bunch of square bill crankbaits in the Little John series, little shallow runners like this that, of course, are a great thing. Now here, another kind of lure that I use, and I know you've seen me use it a lot. You know, Spro has a whole series of these Little John lures like this one, and here is one of the shallow diving. It's kind of a square bill thing. It's not quite a square bill. See, the thing about these square bills, these are the original square bills. These were back in the 70s, and these were the original square bills where they'd hit on something and actually come through the logs and timber better than you might realize. A good square bill with a big square bill it comes through a lot of heavy cover. Not all the heavy cover, but quite a bit. Okay, now, but Spro came along and they have used these same type of lips. These and this is a smaller little Spro Little John. And again, what I'll do two things to this plug. You know, right now it needs to be cleaned up. Okay, so there's a couple ways to clean it, and I kind of cleaned this one with some. So I took some Comet. I just took regular Comet, and I just washed it down. I just rubbed it. It was kind of rusty, but now the rust is kind of off of it. It's pretty clean. Okay, so that's the first step. I used the Comet. Okay, the second step is the plugs. Hooks are pretty sharp, but not as sharp as I can with that diamond grade. Just a couple times. Okay, it doesn't take much. Doesn't take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It just doesn't take much. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised at your success ratio. Just hitting those plugs, hooks, just a few turns with that diamond. This diamond deal. This is a diamond deal. This is not just a regular stone. This is so much better than a stone. I have to brag about it. I don't have any kind of deal with them. I just bought this somewhere at Worksharp. I don't know where I even got it. But it's a diamond-faced surface, and it just does a phenomenal job. I mean, so sharp. Now here's what I want to talk about. Don Rollins with the Spiker Corporation, he has all these different dyes. Now I know, you run into the regular spiket, the regular chartreuse is one thing. Then you have the different other colors. You have the pinks, and then you have in a pen. You have the pen. Applicators, and this is kind of really neat. I'm just going to take a pen applicator, because that's kind of a new deal, and I'm going to get a color like the chartreuse, for example. Chartreuse, you can't beat it. And so often, particularly in the dingier water in the wintertime, I like to put a chartreuse belly on them. It's so easy to do with this applicator. It's just really easy. I just come along here and I just come along here and just kind of just painted just a little bit of little application, just a little bit of chartreuse. I'm telling you, folks, that sometimes makes a difference. You don't ever know, but that little chartreuse accent can make a big difference. Make a big difference. So that's one thing. Now, there's other colors, and another color that I really like in the springtime is the pink. If I can get the pink. Okay, here it says here. Okay, this is hot chicken. I like the hot chicken. That's kind of a pink. Hey, look at this hot chicken. Now, I can take another lure. Let me just take another lure. This hot chicken's the deal. I'm gonna take. In this case, I got a whole bunch of different plugs. Here's an old rattle trap, and an old rattle trap, and this has really been used a lot. I mean, this rattle trap. I mean, this is really a rattle trap that's been around the block. Look at all the stuff off of it. All the chrome is on the thing, off the thing. But I don't have any chrome paint right now. But what you can do is number one, you can accent it a little bit with that. I'm going to try this. It's what this is called. It's called monkey blood, and monkey blood. And sometimes the red is really, really a good accent. You know, there's this thing called Rayburn red, and that's something in the springtime. Don't ask me why. Sometimes these plugs with the red accent to them really pay off. The Rayburn red is an example. I've caught so many fish on the Rayburn reds over the last 30 years. That's really, really the case in the cold weather. Cold weather's time is really, really a big deal. So I'm going to just kind of paint that body with that. It's a Rayburn red, but they call it monkey blood, but it's about the same thing. Okay, now, that's one big deal. Of course, the other big deal is sharpening the hooks. Those hooks look awful, and they're not very sharp. They aren't sharp at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh man, whoo, that helped a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's, oh man, I've been working with Gamakatsu for a long time. So what I have here, and that thing's really sharp. I have a set up here where I have all my treble hooks. I have all these trebles, the round bend, just like we're using. And we have, and the bronze color and the black color. And that's also, if we're working with a big heavy fish, that's 2X. That's for the bigger fish. Say we're over the headwaters and there's 8 and 10 pound bass in the heavy cover, you'd want a 2X. If you're out in saltwater, they got a 4X treble hook. The 4X is the strongest hook that you can buy. It just, I mean, it's for tarpon and stuff. It's just really big time. So here, for example, a 1/04. That's a 1/0 treble 4X. Boy, that's a tarpon deal. Well, anyway, that's just some of the stuff I have. Of course, I got a lot of other hooks. I got all kind of Gamakatsus. I've been working with Gamakatsu for off and on for 30 years, and so that's all I ever use is the Gamakatsu hooks. But again, no matter what you do, you have to think about the fact that all hooks get dull, and so just being able to sharpen them is a big deal. Okay. Anyway, I hope this little video has helped. You know, I got these rainy days are great for working on tackle. And this little hook hone, hey folks, you got to get some of these hook hones. And while you're at it, you know, good Christmas present, of course, being able to color all the different lures in all the different shades and stuff is just no faster way of doing it. You can dip them in the regular dip, like you say, you can worm dips and stuff, and then you can use the pen applicator to just paint the plugs. And it's just a super way to get that little accent color. And you need to experiment with that, because sometimes that little bit of color, for example, in the cold weather, that Rayburn red can sometimes really turn the tide. Or in the hot summertime, that chartreuse tail, the fire tail, or even the fire tail itself. You know, years ago when I was really, really on top of the game with, I was using cream worms 30 years ago, and I was winning tournaments on the red-tailed cream worm, and they don't even make them anymore. You got to make your own. You got to take a say a whatever worm it is and dip it in this solution like I have here to make these accented colors. Okay, folks. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you've learned something. We'll see you again soon.